Hello, welcome to another edition of Chris Speaks. I'm your host, Chris Thompson. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And I really am mad as hell, and I'm going to tell you why. Because of this clown, Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the Prime Minister of Israel. This clown just goes in there, lies, makes horrible claims, insults American protesters, and literally he throws Americans under the bus, and then the people that are supposed to represent us applaud. Like you would expect, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has had nothing to say but lies and propaganda. He had the audacity to accuse American protesters of being funded by Iran. This claim was debunked a long time ago, and they actually found out that a big chunk of the people that are hosting these events, these protests, and funding them are actually a big chunk of them are Jewish people, Jewish anti-Zionist Jewish organizations. But I mean, he's claiming it's illegal to get funding by Iran and the United States for anything, as far as I know. So he's effectively, if not cleverly, accusing them of committing crimes, yet he's literally a wanted war criminal. And it's sick. These guys are supposed to, Congress, they are supposed to represent us, and they are not representing us. They are making a mockery of our whole way of government. This guy is not our president. He's president of a country that has been committing genocide, that has been, the UN has said they are committing genocide. The ICC and the ICJ said that he's committing war crimes, committing genocide, crimes against humanity, all of which he denies, and instead he keeps sticking to what he does and keep the lies going on. Okay, so, yeah, like I said, what I was saying, for a war criminal to throw Americans under the bus, and our representatives applaud it, giving standing ovations to this disgusting murderer. And that's all he does, but he's a coward and doesn't murder himself. He murders them by proxy, by sending Israeli troops to go do his dirty work. All he did was rehash a bunch of debunked shit. Like here, the thing about the beheadings and the systematic rapes and the burnt babies, none of which were real, that none of it which has any proof of. They don't have proof of any systematic rape, if even rape at all. And then he talks about this family that was burnt alive. But what he's not saying is that it was Israel's military, not Hamas, that killed that family. And they did it under sorry, I'm having a bit of a cough here. But anyways, the burnt up family that he's talking about, it was Israeli troops that were told to go ahead and bring back the Hannibal, what is it called? The Hannibal Directive. The Hannibal Directive is where they kill their own people to make sure they don't get taken hostage, because they don't want to trade prisoners. They don't want to do a prisoner swap. They don't want to trade, because they wouldn't have to. This is the thing. Israel keeps taking Palestinians that have done nothing wrong and put them in these concentration camps, as if Gaza isn't enough of a concentration camp for them. No, and they take these people that have done nothing wrong, that they've charged nobody of, And then there's a reason for Hamas to take hostages so they can get their people back. And not Hamas people, like just people. And to treat them all Palestinians like they're the enemy is the problem. This is why what's gone on has gone on. So they'll kill their own, and this isn't just conspiracy theory. Haaretz, which is the Israeli newspaper, an English language one, literally admitted, they said they used the Hannibal directive and killed their own people. That's ridiculous. But what he doesn't see, this is what he doesn't want to talk to you about. He doesn't talk about how they had information that Hamas was going to do this attack. They didn't prepare their military for it, and they didn't cancel that rave, which, by the way, I'm sorry if anybody, innocent people got killed, and this doesn't justify anything, but it's pretty, what kind of assholes do a fucking rave next to the wall of what's been described as an open-air concentration camp? It doesn't mean they deserve to die, but what kind of asshole does that? They're fucking partying next to people that are suffering. What a bunch of dicks. And anyways, okay, yeah, Hamas, blah, blah, blah. They did some shit. But the thing is, that number that they always give us for the amount of people killed, they don't tell you that around half, give or take, half of them were soldiers. So those are valid military targets. So no, they don't count. And then they're also counting all the people that Israel's also counting all the people that Israel killed with their Hannibal directive and putting it on Hamas. So the number of people killed, innocent people killed, because I'm sorry, if they attack your military, you're a valid military target, especially if you're an occupying force. What do you expect people to do? To deal with your tyranny all the time? And yeah, Hamas sucks, they fuck things up even worse, but what makes somebody give someone the right to do what Israel's done and then gaslight the whole world about it? Like, serious. They put their own people in danger. They knew, they were given warning that Hamas was going to do this attack to the date of when they were going to do it, and they did nothing about it. Now, you can speculate on whether it was, they just didn't believe Hamas could do it, that they were just so egotistical that they thought they were so much better than them that they couldn't possibly do an attack like that. Or there's a thing where you are waiting for the attack to happen in order to do what they've done and go in there and kill a bunch of people. And they don't tell you about the fact that not too long before October 7th, they went and did a raid in West Bank, in Gaza, and killed a bunch of people, and the continuing torment of Palestinians in the West Bank by the settlers that are allowed to just beat them up and kill them and do anything, and there's no repercussions. It's just this asshole coming in here and acting like he's like Israel's part of America when it isn't, and if anything, they're the fucking thorn in our side. I mean, Bin Laden literally said, like, one of the main reasons he attacked us on 9/11 was because of our continued support of Israel, which a lot of people didn't know, and I didn't know at that time, was this support isn't like, oh yeah, we support you. No, this has been what's the word? Material support. They've literally been arming Israel forever, but they've armed this whole genocide that's going on, that by the highest court in the freaking world says is an occupying power. They are killing people, they are purposely going after civilians, and they are starving them to death intentionally. He goes, I got a part in my notes here where he says something about that. Oh yeah, okay, so he claims that the accusations against Israel which is by a couple of the main courts in the United Nations World Courts. They claimed that the accusations of genocide were a lie and basically constituted to be blood libel. I won't go into that. It has something to do with they used to say, I don't know, they used to say like bad things about the Jews that would get someone else to kill them. But that's basically accusing the UN of being anti-Semitic because they want to enforce international law, because it is their duty to. Their whole point of existing is to enforce international law. Serious. The UN is lying and hates Jews? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. He also claimed the UN was lying about them intentionally starving people in Gaza. Our own experts said they were doing that they were not allowing aid into Gaza. The government got a bunch of people together, experts, to consult with, to do a report. The experts said Israel is not letting aid in there. Everybody on the ground is telling us that. All of these international aid organizations, all these things where people volunteer to go to dangerous places to help people, are saying that they're saying they're not letting aid in. So the United States decides to disregard what they have to say and falsifies a report to look better on Israel. So the whole point of the report was to lie. So why even have the experts if you were going to ignore them? Okay, hold on, falsifying. Okay. So he at some point honored a bunch of Israeli toddler bombers, fucking idiots. Oh, they're so brave and they're so wonderful that they attack innocent people, that they drop bombs. Oh, and he talked about their brave rescue of the 4 hostages that only came at the price of 300 innocent Palestinian lives. They blew up the whole freaking block, man, just to get 2 people out, and in the process killed 3 of their own. And that's the crazy thing. And they're going in there. Most of the hostages that have been killed, it was not Hamas that killed them. It was literally Israeli airstrikes. I mean, he's just lying about everything, omitting all the things that are proof against him, and saying, oh, everyone's just anti-Jewish, even the UN. Oh, go fuck yourself. This is the whole thing. The dude acts like Donald Trump, man, where he lies about everything and blames everybody for his own faults, for his own wrongdoings. Just and he brought up Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump decided to move the embassy to Jerusalem and make that the capital, and he goes on and on there at some point about how Jerusalem will not be divided. Well, you're just asking for more trouble. You're asking them to rebel. You are trying to take away their capital. They don't want the whole thing. They just want East Jerusalem, but you won't give it to them, and it's their territory. The UN has ruled that the territories of come on, hold on, not Lebanon. Come on, brain work. Palestine. Okay, so the Palestinian, they're now referring to them as the Palestinian territories, and they are Gaza. They are the entirety of the West Bank, and they told them to get their get rid of what do they call them? Iggy, you're gonna have to wait. I'm doing my video, dude. So, what was my point? Oh, yeah, the UN said, the ICJ said that they're, what do they call them? Come on, I don't have all this on notes. I need to do it more. oh yeah, come on, where the people come in, the settlers. They said the settlements, all the settlements in the West Bank need to go. All the settlements in East Jerusalem have got to go, and they need to leave Gaza alone. I think they're doing this on purpose. They're referring to them as the whole of the territories, probably to set up for making a Palestinian state. And he lies and says something about that's what he wants to do. But him and his whole government, they've constantly said things like that while they're behind the back of saying, no, we're not going to do that. We're never. He comes and lies to us when there's been reports of him doing his own speeches on Israeli TV saying, no, they will never have their own state. Now lying to the American government, who knows better, and acting like it's the opposite. It's like lying to you while admitting shit when he's addressing Israelis on Israeli TV. Oh yeah, and so he's claiming that all the things that the UN has said are false, and that they've done everything to prevent civilian deaths, even though they've had the most civilian deaths of all times. They're saying he cites some stupid report, not even a report, a paper that this guy wrote, who is a college professor guy. He's a historian, and he's also a staunch Israel supporter. He's a staunch Zionist. You need to stop, Iggy. I'm doing my thing. Okay, I guess I gotta hurry up, or this douchebag back here is not gonna stop meowing. You wanna come over here, Iggy, be on TV. Everybody likes cats. Okay, so he cites this pro-Zionist historian that claims that Israel has killed less civilians than any other war. Maybe that's because most wars last for years, like 5, 10 plus years, and this war has only been 6 months. If you go by that much time, by a 6 months, well, 9 months, 10 months in every war, they've killed way less civilians than Israel has killed. And he hints this thing by this historian, and this guy this is not a peer-reviewed paper, and he's actually been mocked. Well, I wouldn't say mocked, but people have been very critical, saying what he's saying is not backed up by anything. And so we're supposed to believe this guy over the UN. He also claims that paper in saying that, well, they're always going accordance to international law, so we're going to believe some dude, some history professor who's pro-Israel, that's true, and we're going to believe them over the UN, which is the legislative governing body of the world, to be enforcing and interpreting international law. So are you going to go by the people that their job is to do that? That's all they do is international law? Or are you going to believe some dude who wrote a paper that wasn't even peer-reviewed? This is the thing. The whole thing of standards of something being usable, being scholarly, is peer-reviewed, not peer-reviewed. And then we've got the United Nations that's responsible for doing all this stuff. Okay, so like it was. I mean, if you guys want to go watch it, it's on there on YouTube, and watch the whole thing. It was disgusting to watch. It was horrible, and I hope I never have to see another speech by that guy again. I mean, he's just like Donald Trump, man. They're both from New York too. Yeah, that's where he grew up, is New York, and then he goes over there and becomes their prime minister. And he has all this stuff about, being Israeli to be for Israel is really American. Really? To prop up some country that's made of people that were invited there by a British Zionist and took over someone else's land. They claim, it was always our land. Jews have lived on that land like forever since there were Jewish people, but they were Middle Eastern Jewish people. They weren't a bunch of people from, sure, they have some people that have come over there, like Ethiopian Jews and stuff like that, but the majority of them are Ashkenazi. The majority of them, you think, oh, he did this thing about, oh, I forgot to do that part. He brought up had a bunch of Israeli, I called them toddler bombers. Yeah, these cowards that they're saying are heroes, cowards that kill innocent people. They kill innocent people, including babies and men with severe Down syndrome that can't even take care of themselves. And they blame, well, the dogs led us to terrorism. How does a dog sense terrorism? That's fucking stupid. They can't sense a terrorist. They don't know. And even if that was the case, so you get to murder this disabled guy? I don't give a fuck who was in there. You think he was Hamas? Man, the dude couldn't even fucking shit on the toilet. I mean, the dude literally wore diapers and had to have his diapers changed. You think that guy was Hamas? Hamas. Everyone's Hamas. The UN's Hamas. Oh, fuck off. Your mom's Hamas, bitch. Fuck this guy. Oh, Chris, but you're using all this profanity and you're being so angry. That guy's a piece of crap. We don't need to be funding his disgusting war. And we're going to be against a big chunk of the world. Oh, this was what was disturbing, was that he wanted basically he wants to take a war with all the people that are pro-Israel and go against all the countries that won't support Israel or are connected with, always blame it on Iran. Iran's not wonderful, their government sucks, but stop making them the boogeyman. You're the one committing genocide. Oh yeah, and he wanted to get all these countries, pro-Israel countries, together to form what he called the Abraham Alliance. Get the fuck out of here. If it's the Abraham Alliance, why is the Abraham Alliance murdering Christians and Muslims who are Abrahamic religions? Yeah, that's right, and most of you assholes don't even realize it. You just assume if they're Middle Eastern, they've all got to be Muslim. They must be. No, dumbasses. There's a lot of Christians too. Not that it should, and if you're suddenly, oh, well, that's bad, but you didn't give a fuck when you thought they were all Muslims. Well, I've got to get off of here. Let me get this stupid thing to work. Can't get the cursor to move. Okay, so I got to get off here. I got to use the bathroom and deal with this stupid cat. Well, this has been another episode of, come on, Chris. Okay, let me start this over. I'll do over. Okay, welcome. Well, thank you for being here for another episode of Chris Speaks. I'm your host, Chris Thompson. I am mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore, and neither should you. Alright, see you guys later.